Hey Paul, I found something fun that I'd like to share with you all. This is from a translation of Tales from the Arabian Nights, translated by Richard Burton. This doesn't have a copyright date on it. The thrift store that I got it from, the woman running it says she thinks it's from 1912. So that's fun. Nice older book. And the story is called The Man Who Stole the Dish of Gold Wherein the Dog Ate. Very nice, very fun. It's kind of short, but it is fun and it is uh, some old timey translation languages. I don't know if I want to put this chunk in. Sometime erst there was a man who had accumulated debts, and his case was straitened upon him, so that he left his people and family, and went forth in distraction, and ceased not wandering on at random, till he came, after a time, to a city of walls and firm foundations. Doesn't say what city. Uh, He entered it in a state of despondency and despair, harried by hunger and worn with the weariness of his way. As he passed through one of the main streets, he saw a company of the great going along. So he followed them till they reached a house like to a royal palace. He entered with them, and they stayed not faring forwards till they came in the presence of a person seated at the upper end of a saloon, a man of most dignified and majestic aspect, surrounded by pages and eunuchs, as he were of the sons of the wazirs. When he saw the visitors, he rose to greet them and received them with honor. But the poor man aforesaid was confounded at his own boldness, when beholding the goodliness of the place and of the crowd of servants and attendants, so, drawing back in perplexity and fear for his life, sat down apart in a place afar off, where none should see him. Now it chanced that whilst he was sitting, behold, in came a man with 4 sporting dogs, whereon were various kinds of raw silk and brocade, and wearing round their necks collars of gold with chains of silver, and tied up each dog in a place set privy for him, after which he went out and presently returned with 4 dishes of gold, full of rich meats, which he set severally before the dogs, one for each. Then he went away and left them, whilst the poor man began to eye the food for stress and hunger, and longed to go up to one of the dogs and eat with them, but fear of them withheld him. Presently, one of the dogs looked at him, and Allah Almighty inspired the dog with knowledge of his case. So he drew back from the platter and signed to the man, who came and ate till he was filled. Then he would have withdrawn, but the dog again signed him to take for himself the dish and what food was left in it, and pushed it towards him with his forepaw. So the man took the dish, and, leaving the house, went his way, and none followed him. Then he journeyed to another city, where he sold the dish, and, buying with the price a stock in trade, returned to his own town. None of these places are specified. There he sold his goods and paid his debts, and he throve and became affluent and rose to perfect prosperity. He abode in his own land, but after some years had passed, he said to himself, "Needs must I repair to the city of the owner of the dish, and carry him a fit and handsome present, and pay him the money value of that which his dog bestowed upon me. So he took the price of the dish and a suitable gift, and setting out, journeyed day and night, till he came to that city. He entered it, and sought the place where the man lived, but he found there naught save ruins mouldering in row and croak of crow, and house and home desolate, and all conditions in changed state. Now, when the man saw these mouldering ruins and witnessed what the hand of time had manifestly done with the place, leaving but traces of the substantial things that erewhiles had been, a little reflection made it needless for him to inquire of the case, so he turned away. Presently, seeing a wretched man, in a plight which made him shudder to feel goose-skin, and which he would have moved the very rock to ruth, he said to him, Ho thou! What have time and fortune done with the lord of this place? Where are his lovely faces, his shining full moons and splendid stars? And what is the cause of the ruin that is come upon this abode, so that nothing save the walls thereof remain? Quoth the other, He is the miserable thou seest, mourning that which has left him naked. But knowest thou not the words of the apostle, whom Allah bless and keep? Wherein is a lesson to him who will learn by it, and a warning to whoso will be warned thereby, and guided in the right way. Verily, it is the way of Allah Almighty to raise up nothing of this world, except to cast it down again. If thou question the cause of this accident, indeed it is no wonder, considering the chances and changes of fortune. I was the lord of this place, and I builded it, and I founded it, and I owned it. And I was the proud possessor of its full moons lucent, and its circumstance resplendent, and its damsels radiant, its garniture magnificent. But time turned and did away from me wealth and servants, and took from me what it had lent, not given, and brought upon me calamities which it held in store hidden. But there must needs be some reason for this thy question, so tell me it, and leave me wondering. Thereupon the man who had waxed wealthy, being sore concerned, told him this whole story, and added, I have brought thee a present such as souls desire, and the price of thy dish of gold which I took, for it was the cause of my affluence after poverty, and of the replenishment of my dwelling place after desolation, and of the dispersion of my trouble and straitness. This word has changed meaning over the years, I think. Although I'm not gonna question the dispersion of straightness. Just cast away. Anyway, I'm editorializing. But the man shook his head, and, weeping and groaning and complaining of his lot, answered, Ho thou, methinks thou art mad, for this is not the way of a man of sense. How should a dog of mine make a generous gift to thee of a dish of gold, and I meanly take back the price of what the dog gave? Were I in extremest unease and misery, by Allah, I would not accept of thee aught, no, not the worth of a nail paring. So return whence thou camest, in health and safety. Whereupon the merchant kissed his feet, and taking leave of him, returned whence he came, praising him and reciting this couplet, Men and dogs together are all gone by, so peace be with all of them, dogs and men, and Allah is all-knowing. And before I finish up, I just want to show you this illustrations by W.M. Cuthil, one of those things. And just look at this good doggo. Look. Oh. Good doggos. Very good doggo. So I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. If you would like me to read anything else that's not gonna get me copyright strikes, leave suggestions in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Ho thou, methinks thou art... methinks thou art... Anyway,